Today is International Women's Day. I have the pleasure and the honor to announce our special guest for our International Women's Day. She has a master's in business administration. She has a master's in project management. She is the executive director of Positive Dynamix, which helps immigrants with navigating America, education on civil and human rights, and social services. She is also such a dynamic and amazing woman that she is running for the governor of Lagos, Nigeria. I have the honor and the special privilege of introducing Khairat Animashaun-Ajiboye.
Hey! Thank you so much, Mr. Doug Anderson. Thank you so much for the introduction. May Allah continue to bless you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this program today. Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes. So I want to wish all of us a happy International Women's Day. Today is the May 8th, the day we celebrate women all over the world. All over the world. International Women's Day, we celebrate women in every aspect of life, in every endeavor. And I'm sure each one of us have one woman or the other in our lives. I'm sure our mothers are women, and they played a great role in making us or shaping us, making us to becoming who we are today. And so many of us have sisters, many of us are women, because many of us have younger sisters and senior sisters and colleagues in the office and, market women. We have women all over the place who are striving hard every day to make a difference. So we welcome you to today's program, organized by Women's Health First. Right. We have an outline today. Our outline is what is International Women's Day. We also will be going to go through the how did the Women International Day begin? How did it begin? Who started it? How did it start? What is the significance? And I'm sure my sister will be joining us in talking about gender disparities. Gender disparities, and then we're going to also look for solutions for the gender equity that we're going to be discussing about. And at the end of the day, we will be talking about call to action. What are the things that we are expected to do, and how are we expected to go about them? So what is International Women's Day? We want to make this as interactive as possible so that people can participate in this conversation. But International Women's Day is celebrated all over the world. It was celebrated today, albeit online, and it is just to showcase and celebrate the successes of women globally. The ability of women to have been able to break barriers in technology, medicine, science, politics. We want to celebrate each other. We want to keep reminding each other that we have to keep upholding the tenets of being a strong, brave, courageous women and doing what we're supposed to do. Even when we talk about inclusivity in participation in the different sectors of the economy, of politics, we want to also ensure that our women are well educated. So today's theme is going to gather around. The international theme for today is gender equality today. Gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow. If our women are able to have equality at their jobs, it will be easier for them to take care of their children, to take care of their family. It will be easier for us to have sustainability in the future. So this topic for this year is really, really apt. It is apt because equality in gender, whereby we want to make sure that I am still in the office, for example. I have been in the office all day today. So I want to be able to comment. I would like my boss or my to pay me what I should earn, not because I am a man or a woman, but because I deserve it, because I put in a lot of work, a lot of hard work. And women have suffered over the years. Women have suffered over the years. And what brought about the International Women's Day is because women came together to demand that their voice be heard that their voices be heard against anti-slavery, that their voices be heard against economic impoverishment, that their voices be heard against maltreatment of women. So women decided to break the barriers in economic, social, political. Today in America, we have our first female vice president ever in the history of this country. So it is important that we celebrate each other, we understand what is going on, and we try to support and lift each other up every day, every time. It is important that we have a good mind, good heart, good intention. Let us just try to strive, and then we have to also work for it. Celebrating women's successes all over the world is awesome, but we also have to be able to say that, yeah, technology, science, politics, everywhere, every sphere, we find our women. We find our women work hard. So I'm going to turn this out to the next slide to talk about the theme for today. And the theme for today really is gender equality. Today, like I said, for a sustainable tomorrow. And the health section 6 talks about breaking the bias. We know bias means prejudice. Prejudice against, in favor or against one thing or person or group. So how do we break that bias? Why would I not want you to judge me just because you see that I'm a woman? Why do you think I cannot do as good as a man? Because just because I'm a woman is as gifted as a man. Spiritually, a woman is gifted as a man physically. I mean, not by strength, but at least a woman is gifted mentally, psychologically, a woman is also gifted. So let us not just condemn ourselves just because we are women. Let us try to promote each other every time we find ourselves in a situation. Let us try to support each other. So the bias, we want to try to break it in all spheres as much as we can. And for today, we want to look at Africa. We want to look at Africa. We want to see what is going on in Africa, Sub-Saharan, the whole of Africa, how our women have been faring. Where women wakes up very early. I know for me, I have an example, I have a story to tell. A woman wakes up very early. My mom, when we were younger, would wake up very early to cater to us, to go to fetch for food for us, to make sure she's able to earn enough income to serve and take care of her children. So the first official International Women's Day was in 1975. That was recognized by the women, by the United Nations. And within the United Nations, I must say that Russia, that is having a lot of issues with the world right now, with Ukraine right now, the revolution that took place in Russia invigorated the conventions that were held in the United States and all over the world that gave birth to the International Women's Day. And it's unfortunate that today Russia is doing what they are doing, but I hope that the women will be strong. The women in Russia and Ukraine will be strong enough to stand up and do right. Women came together because of the fact that they were having issues with the situation, with the status quo, and they said that enough is enough. So countries such as Austria, Denmark, Germany, Switzerland, they joined the occasion in 1911 to celebrate this beautiful day. Every day is a Women's Day, but today is a special day that is recognized to celebrate the achievements that women have been able to come about since years back. So the equality that we ask for today will help us sustain tomorrow. Because if as a mom, as a sister, as a work, if you're able to take care of yourself, earn income, you were able to provide for your kids are able to do better for tomorrow. So if your kids are not able to do better for today, how is tomorrow going to be utilized? How is tomorrow going to be better? So the reason why, even if you're not a mom, you go into your different fields of endeavor. If you're a scientist, you help to make sure that the COVID-19 that we're going through right now, that people are not able to suffer as much as they're suffering. We have lost a lot of women who have been very courageous and who have been very strong. So women have been pivots of civilization. Women have been pivots of progress. Women have been pivots of economic discovery, economic recovery. We have stood tall, we have stood strong, and we deserve to be celebrated. The same way we're talking about our women in Africa. A woman has to try to get water, clean water, to take you to feed her kids. That is the power of a woman. A woman strives to make things work health-wise, so that the kids and the family and the husband and the brother and the sister and whosoever is within the family or the community is taken care of. So we deserve the right to celebrate that we have achieved so much. There were times that women in America could not enter the same buses with men. So we want to be able to call for action, find solutions. So how do we do that? We need to raise awareness. We need to make sure that our girls know that they have strength, not in their bodies, but in their mental capacity, that they have strength in their ability to do right, in their ability to make positive changes. So girls' equality is significant, not because, let me give you a funny example that happened yesterday. My son came home and said that he had a girl push him out of the line. And it was amazing because she is a girl and you are a boy. And the girl did that to you. And because she was a girl, he would not even react towards her. He wouldn't do anything. Rather, he decided to be the one that would take the pain. And I was like, okay, this is new. This is new. So I'm saying this to say that women are capable of anything, but we want to make sure that we're able to skew our kids and everybody around us to try to do right by breaking good barriers that will help development of our societies and our communities. So we need to lobby for accelerated gender equality. How do we lobby for that? How do we lobby for that? We have a lot of our specialists that are in the house. We have those that are in politics. We have those that have been able to do so much to help. How do we ensure that we lobby? I think the best way and the first way is for us to be good examples ourselves. We have to represent in a good way. We have to be seen that we are capable of representing our people's opinions. You know, we have to be seen to be fair and just. We have to be seen to be educated and at least to understand what is going on around us. When we are able to show good examples in how we are and what we are and how we represent, it will be easier for us to lobby for those inadequacies within our society, within our structures, within our societies. So what are these inadequacies? I'm sure we all know. So we need to be able to fundraise in the different sectors. You know, we have the lawyers, we have the doctors, we have those in medicine, we have those that want to make sure they provide social services. And we know providing social services is critical to the development of any nation, any society, any community. Because when you have a society that entails our men and the women and the children and everybody else, if we do not provide them with adequate necessities, adequate social necessities, it will be very, very difficult for them to progress in their communities. So we want to be able to fundraise to support our young girls, to support our women going into politics, especially in societies where they feel that where women cannot be the lead. We're not going to force and fight, but we're going to just show that a woman can do it. So when we have opportunities to put policies together, we want to ensure that those policies favor women. It is not to say, it's not because we are saying that we are not as good mentally or psychologically. It's just to say that because it has been a man's world, the men can at least give the women a chance to at least participate and show that we are naturally caring people. We're naturally nurturing people. We nurture. And when we nurture, when we bring those virtues to bear within the political space, within the economic development space, it makes a lot of difference, and it helps the world, and it makes the world a better place.
Yeah, I want to introduce Sister Nahila. She is actually the founder of Women's Health First. She is an amazing sister. She's going to talk about the gender disparities in rural Africa. She has a master's in public health, and she has just recently completed a project with her team in Togo, West Africa. Nahila Ayeva.
Yay!
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dan Anderson, for this wonderful introduction. And that being said, I would like to also take this minute to welcome our special guest, Khairat, just like Ms. Anderson has welcomed her. She's running for a governor in the Lagos State. Our politician is on the board. Thank you so much. And for those of you who does not know, don't understand, she's our executive board, in Women Health First, and she's the chief operation officer and also our media, chief communication officer and marketing. So thank you so much for taking the time out, Ms. Anderson, for coming on the board to do this presentation as a host. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. You
You're
both
welcome.
have been doing amazing work for the empowerment of women. Thank you.
Thank you. So to continue with this beautiful presentation that as initiated by our special guest, Sister Khairat, we would like to continue by talking about disparity. Disparity is what's happening. Well, disparity in here is a very big, and as you know, it's a very challenging. We cannot, take a minute to even try to convey what it is. But specifically, what we will talk about today is gender disparity, as we celebrating Women's Day. And here, again, is big when it comes to gender disparity as well, compared to healthcare disparity and all the other disparity we live daily as a woman. But here, we're talking about disparity in a rural area in Africa, as Ms. K mentioned earlier during her presentation, she touched base on the water issue in Africa, absolutely, which is a crisis, not just in Africa, but it's a global pandemic, it's a global crisis when it comes to water. Now, so knowing that water is a problem in Africa, well, the solution should come with a collaborative effort, right? Unfortunately, I don't have much to say. You can see for your pictures right there on the screen. Women are going to the river collecting dirty water. Women are working a long distance. We're talking sometimes average of a 3.7 mile, to collect those contaminating water. Why is that? This needs to be changed. This needs to be changed. As Ms. Dan Anderson has mentioned earlier, we did have done a project. The team has done a fabulous, incredible project providing clean water in Africa, one community. But we need to do more communities. The solution is not just there, but still we need to incorporate. It has to be a global effort. It's not going to be gender issue saying that the women have to go collect the water. That's what we're trying to talk about today. We do know that a lot of things has been done in terms of improvement we see, but it's still, the variation still exists and needs to stop. So as you can see, how did we what is some of example? What are we trying to do? It's very easy. We need to promote equity, equal opportunity, equal paid. We've all heard about that, right? And this is more severe in Africa than anywhere, where women go and the farmers, come back tired and still have to cook for the family and still have to go and make a living to sell tomatoes or some peanuts on the streets. It's kind of hard, it's devastating, Yes, we have to stop inequality. We have to promote equity. Yes, we have to really, alleviate those problems. And how? How do we eliminate disparity to achieve gender equity? How did we do that? I have a couple of elements in here that I put on the screen that we can read quickly on that. But before anything, I would say that the Sustainable Development Goal of the UN is a blueprint for all this. It's a blueprint. We should use them in our community. We should be able to use it as a blueprint to guide us towards those success, so that we will really, alleviate the problem, of a disparity. Yeah. Number one thing I would like to talk is about how can we achieve gender equality is to talk to women and girls. Just talk to them. It's very important. Communication is the issue, and I'm sure all of you are agreed. Yeah. Another thing we need to do is that let the girl use a mobile phone. You say that you live in the US, right? You'll be laughing. Why not? Of course, girl has a phone. Well, in many other countries, women does not even have a phone to even allow a girl to have a phone. So yes, stop child marriage and the sexual harassment. Those need to be stopped. Yes. Make education gender sensitivity. Meaning what? Equal classes, equal student, equal female. How many of a female in IT? How many? Especially we are here in the US. How many? So we need to stop those. Raise the aspiration of a girl and their parents, trying to find a way to empower them. Another thing we need to do is to give proper value to the women at work. If a woman is breastfeeding in your workplace, have a space for them. And last one, but not the least, get a woman in the power. Get them in power. We need to elect Miss K in the office. We need them. Politics is seen as a man's stuff, but that have to be changed, and that need to be stopped. Yeah. In one word, we need to have a inclusiveness. We need to really create an environment where everything is a share fair, where everybody have the share fair. But I will say this to just add something. Being as a Muslim woman with a background as Islam, we don't have equality when it comes to women and men. We do understand those variation when it comes to the gender, because a man have a specific role and the woman has a specific role. We're not talking about that. Yes. In here, we're talking about raise equity, so that the men do what they're supposed to do when it comes exclusively to men work. And when it comes to women exclusively work, she does what she needs to do. For instance, men cannot carry a pregnancy. We're not expecting them to carry a pregnancy. Absolutely. So those are the things that we need to talk about. So female himself cannot produce those chromosomes, right? So we need a man to have a man child. So we can change those. That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about feasible stuff that are there. We talk about inequality when it comes to women's health. When majority of women have a breast cancer, women have ovarian cancer, and still struggle with the healthcare delivery system. That is a problem. Those are things that we need to alleviate. We need to stop them. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, equal fair. And specifically, when people work the same job, they should all get the same pay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much, Sister Nahila.
And those are some of the data of inequality. So we call for action, and I know my colleague already discussed that earlier. So we need a support, we need a volunteer, we need to, share those information, increase awareness, so that everybody will know. This is a time for you guys to join your nonprofit of your choice, to see what they're doing to support them, especially those nonprofit, women nonprofit that do a lot of work at the grassroots. We need to support them. We need to empower them. For that reason, I'm inviting you to join us and reach our nonprofit of your choice. And I believe all of you agree with me that a Women Health First will be one of them. So we thank you. Yeah, inshallah. So at this point, we would like to add and watch a couple of videos, and we see if you have any question beside that, then you can address them to Miss K. We would like to thank you for joining us today.
Today is International Women's Day. The UN theme for this year is Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. Leela caught up with some young climate activists to find out what the day means to them.
Ella here is 15. Last year, she was the Oz Youth for Climate representative at the UN's Global Climate Summit.
We are living in a moment where we're seeing the effects of climate change on our doorsteps. I know so many people right now being affected by these floods, being affected by weather events that they said would be once in a decade, once in a century.
Ayeva is also a climate activist, and she's a part of a community-led farming initiative called United African Farm.
Our aim is to grow organically, culturally appropriate foods in a sustainable way.
For both Ella and Ayeva, this year's UN theme for International Women's Day, Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow, hits home.
Women are on the front lines of issues and things are going around. Women are affected the most. This can be Indigenous women, young women.
Living in a country with overall limited opportunity means that your exposure to climate change may result in you not having the same outcomes in life.
What would be your message to young girls that are watching this right now?
Your presence in this debate matters. You can begin advocating for climate policy changes by contacting your local MP, by expressing your concerns.
What do you hope we draw light on today?
I really want to see many more women being elected this election because I know that women know the impacts of climate change.
So if we have other questions before we can proceed with the program. Yeah, we have okay, that's fine. Let's see if I can share my screen again. I'm going to share my screen. We go to another video, and this one is a challenge. I want you guys to watch this video here, and then we will take a minute and you share with us what you think about this video.
As part of an experiment to explore the human mind, we asked 22 people to solve the same riddle and recorded their responses. Feel free to participate also. Are you ready?
The riddle. A father is about to bring his son to a job interview, applying for a position at a large stockbrokers company in the city. Just as they arrive at the company's parking lot, the son's phone rings. He looks at his father, who says, "Go ahead, answer it." The caller is the trading company CEO, who says, "Good luck, son, you've got this." The son ends the call and once again looks at his father, who is still next to him in their car. How is this possible?
He gets a call from the CEO, but it says,
"Good luck, son."
But he was next to him.
So it's not the father.
I think it was probably an audio recording of his father.
Maybe he made a demo tape.
Like he has two fathers?
This is a hard one.
Maybe it's a word joke, like it's the grandfather of the son.
No, I think his name is Son.
I don't know.
Maybe it's just like an old man, calling a younger guy son.
I have no idea.
The answer. It's his mother.
Oh, that's so stupid. Yes, of course.
I should have thought of that, yes.
The CEO is a woman.
So I'm biased. In a sense. Is this about diversity and inclusion?
It's really mind-blowing, actually.
So I always thought that I'm not very sexist. But in spite of that, I think these subconscious biases are there in everyone's mind.
How much bias I still have in terms of thinking that the CEO needs to be a man.
Yeah, I definitely was picturing a man.
They identify with males more than females these days.
Why can't women also be CEOs or doctors or, right?
When I think about a CEO or someone that's high positioned within a company, I mostly think of men.
And it's a shame, I think.
And that's so weird, because I'm a CEO, and I'm a woman.
And I want to be a CEO. Why didn't I think about that? Crap. I believe women can absolutely be CEOs.
And that's definitely something that we should work on, especially when you're saying that so many people have been told this riddle and most people haven't gotten it.
Women make great CEOs and great leaders as well. And yet only 5% of Fortune 500 CEOs are women.
A world free of bias means that we can reach the higher levels of a diverse, equal world by connecting all those wires. Wires that have an electric current running through them allows us to be those positively charged particles. And we, together, are going to break the bias so that we forever will no longer fear fighting for better. There is a bias to be broken. My dream of an equal world is what I have awoken from, and I know that it's something that can become true. As the world is a living photograph, saturated with diversity and hues. I march and I stride, with my head held high as a woman, and us women will not be pinned down nor weighed down by anything, no matter how hard that anything tries. We all have different stories. We take each day as it comes, by painting the picture, by writing the literature, to be shared with the world. We will choose to challenge, and we will break the bias, and find strength and pump our tires and drive down the open road by taking the steering wheel. We'll rise up from our heels until it is love, confidence and everything positive that we feel, and until our stories are revealed to the world. Because this is us. We're born to be leaders and born to be great. So let's continue to create our stories in a world where we no longer fear fighting for better.
All right, thank you so much. At this time, if you have any questions or any comments, please direct them to our beautiful guest, Miss K, and then she will be happy to answer your questions or anything you may have. And also, well, we don't need to comment on the video, but you see how the biases are, especially sometimes it be subconscious. So that will be a takeoff for this presentation. Yeah, if any. Yeah, without further ado, Miss K, Umuzanzan.
Yes. Miss Animashaun-Ajiboye. Okay. I was surprised because when I heard the video about who was the person talking to the son in the car, the first thing I thought was the mother. Why do you think that those biases from women against women was so prevalent? Because in that video, it was 100% the women were wrong. All of the women were wrong. Everyone in the video was wrong, but the women were wrong. But for me, it was the first thing that I thought that really surprised me. Why do you think that is?
I think it's because of the systemic bias that we've had since we were children. It's been something that has been inbuilt into us, subconsciously. Our society, we've seen our father, as our father is the one that is the boss, that is the one that can take care of everybody. We see that figure in our father or in our uncles, or we've been programmed subconsciously to see such positions as male positions. That's something that is for the men, that it's only the men that can take care of such positions. So it's been in the lingua, it's been taught to us, it's been said to us. So it's been something that has been ingrained in our system without us even knowing. So it is not, it's subconscious as taking it in. So there's a lot that we have to actually do to re-educate ourselves consciously and reenact the real power in us as humans, as individuals, to know that anything is possible. It doesn't have to be because you're a man or a woman, aside from carrying babies, of course, and the other way around. But that every other thing intellectually is possible, and that a woman has the power, the strength, the tenacity, to make things happen. And because the specialty of women here, though, is also because the woman is a nurturer, So that's what was happening in the videos. And fortunately, everybody was sincere about what they thought. And now we can start rethinking. I think that's what the word is. We need to also start rethinking and start to do some critical analysis before we respond to situations. So that is it, sister.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And congratulations that you thought that it's a mom. Ah, that's a good one. So you up there, sis.
Yes, yes. I have another question. With you getting ready to run for governor of Lagos, Nigeria, how is it that we can help you overcome those biases, not only for the men, but for the women who may doubt that a woman can actually run as position for governor?
There's a lot you can do. Of course, we all know what the first part is to make prayers for me. That is the first part of the post. But in reality, oh my goodness, it is a lot of bias. It is a lot of stereotypes that are already out there. Even where the government has already highlighted, like put in place via policies that they want to have a certain percentage of women. But we want to also ensure that we want to have quality women take on such roles. And we want to be able to show that women are strong enough. So in helping, we have to do a lot of fundraising. We have to do a lot of, those that have intellects in areas of specialties can come to bear and say, hey, I have specialty in this area. I can support you develop this policy. I can support you develop this program. I can be your social media coordinator. So there are a lot of ways where you can volunteer and support, because it is a lot. I'm already feeling it without even getting in the heat yet, because the heat is really yet to come. Let us try to see how we can change stereotypes, But the fact of the matter is that the reality is that the men are in charge, and they've been doing this over and over. And in order for, the most important part is to have many of us women come into the playing field. If we have more good women come in, and please identify the fact that I try to give good women come in, right? It will be easier for the subconscious to start remembering that women can actually be in position of power and they can actually do good. The reason why most of the women in power today, we want to try to also be analytic about what they do, what they've done, and how they've made, it better for other women to come into the picture. So yes, please, funds, volunteering, support, prayer, all of it is going to really help. Thank you so much for that, sister.
That's great. And prayer never fall down. So yes, we will do that. And especially now that Ramadan also is knocking the door. Yeah, we will absolutely. May God bless, help you, and then be victorious. That's a great thing to do. And this is exactly what we're talking about. Gender, disparity. Those biases need to be over. We need to break them today, and not just today, International Women's Health Day, International Women's Day, but every single day. So yeah,
we'll break it today to have a sustainable tomorrow, Sister Nahila.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes. Done? Dan Anderson?
Yes. Yeah. Both of you have been amazing. Yeah. And Sister Nahila, again, I wanted to thank you and your team for the water project that was completed in Togo. It is of my opinion, and it's my opinion, that a woman understands what it means to have clean water in her village. It takes a nurturer to understand that a water is necessary to not only feed the family, hydrate the family, to wash the clothes for the family, prepare the food for the family, to clean the children, to make sure that the family's clean and the house is clean with the water that's provided. So sometimes in leadership, a woman is needed so that the nurturing of the community can begin.
Absolutely, absolutely, Dawn. Thank you so very much for those observations. Absolutely, water is for everything. Water is a life. Water for life. Water for health. Water for humanity. We shouldn't have any, disparity when it comes to water supply. Each person, everyone should have a free access to water. But unfortunately, it's not the reality with a global crisis. This, what the UN tried to talk about, with the climate change, things happen, and unfortunately, they affect severely impacted by the rural women in general who have the rivers are dry and they have to walk miles, to collect those contamination water, So yes, the women alone shouldn't be the solution. They shouldn't be a solution of providing water. Everyone should be part of it. The men have to be involved. Shouldn't have any disparity when it comes to that. Yeah. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
I think
Yes.
the solutions were clearly presented, and we have action items that we need to take. So we know how to move forward with solving the problem of the disparities among women. So I think with that being said, if there are any final thoughts.
Thank you so much. I want to appreciate Sister Nahila Ayeva for all your hard work. You work hard. And I pray that God will reward you for all that you do, And I bless all of your work. And even those that you didn't work. And the young man that showed his face right there, your technical expertise, we pray that God will protect him and make him grow so that he can also talk about the power and the barriers that women break to make this happen. And I also appreciate Sister Dawn Anderson for all that you do every day, every hour to make a difference. May God continue to also be with you and all our sisters, and even people around you see what you do, because when you do good, you radiate good and you influence other people to do good. So I want to say that today's theme about United Nations theme of International Women's Day is apt. It is apt. If we're able to promote women equality, we will be able to sustain tomorrow. So we have to try our best to just be good, to do better, educate yourselves, be a better brand of yourself and a better brand of your sister, be your sister's keeper and your brother's keeper. So thank you so much for this opportunity. And please, so we have a lot of work to do. We cannot do all of the work, but we want to be able to try and beat our chest that we did try. So guys, let us try and make it better. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and hopefully we'll be able to do more within the nearest future. Thank you.